All right, so the Cavs looking a lot better in Dallas last night. They win by the final score of 105-90 against the Mavericks. No changes to the starting lineup for the Cavs. No surprises there as far as the starting five goes. So getting right into it, Garland hitting a three-pointer first thing. I thought maybe that might put him into a groove and get him going as far as scoring wise, but he didn't have that dynamic of a scoring night. Although again, it was no harm, no foul in the end, but that might be something to look at moving forward. Cavs establishing the paint pretty well early on. The defense doing their part for the Cavs as well in the first quarter. And they would have both of those things lead to a 16-2 run for the Cavs early in the first. Luka Doncic with he had a layup that was pretty much the only points for the Mavs in that portion of the quarter. But then Dallas starts to shoot kind of well to lower the deficit to 8 points late in the first quarter. And the Cavs would be up by 7 after Luka Doncic and 1. While the Mavericks didn't necessarily come that close in this game, Luka Doncic certainly showed flashes of why he is just the great player that he is. It just so happened that he didn't really have that great of a supporting cast around him last night. Second quarter really started to become the Donovan Mitchell show early after the Mavericks kind of started to threaten the Cavs' lead a little bit early in that quarter. Isaac Okoro with a nice baseline drive and dunk. That would be his only points for the game. Donovan Mitchell, by the end of the first half, he pretty much had a stat line of a whole solid game. It was insane what the performance that he put in. Luka Doncic did have a nice behind-the-back assist late in the second quarter, nearly to end the half, but the Cavaliers would ride Donovan Mitchell's, again, tremendous performance to a 19-point halftime lead. In the third quarter, the Cavs did a good job of keeping the Mavericks at bay, although the Mavs would go on a 6-0 run, and it looked like it might get a little too close for comfort late in the third, thanks to some great plays again by Luka Doncic. He was playing pretty well, but the score never really got any closer than about 10 points or so, even with the Mavericks kind of going on little mini runs here and there. The Cavs would always have some answer. I thought Allen and Mobley did a good job in the paint, both receiving paint points and also being able to dish out the rock as well. They had decent assist numbers for their positions. The Mavericks did shoot well in the second half. Doncic making plays like I've been saying, and they would get the lead to 9 eventually in the fourth quarter. Donovan Mitchell had a three-pointer to answer. Game was pretty much done. Just a little nervous. That made me personally a little nervous just because I've been kind of a nervous Nelly as a Cavs fan, seeing the Cavs some of their fourth quarter performances. Although there's probably been just as many good fourth quarter performances as bad ones, but with the Cavs and the expectation that they are, you really remember the bad ones. They stick out in your head a lot. So whenever I see the Mavs kind of starting to make that lead a little bit less, I started to get nervous. But it was really just nervousness about the idea of the Mavericks coming back. The Mavericks really never getting too close to the Cavs at any point in the second half. Cavs doing a pretty good job on both sides of the floor. Donovan Mitchell, obviously the player of the game for the Cavs. He was electric. He had another tremendous night. 34 points for him. He was 13 for 20 shooting overall, 6 for 9 nice on three-point attempts. And Donovan Mitchell was the only Cav to make more than one three-pointer. The rest of the team not really doing a whole lot from beyond the arc. It was Darius Garland, like I mentioned earlier, and Lamar Stevens both having one three-pointer apiece, and that was it for the Cavs as far as making three-point shots. Although Lamar Stevens did have a very nice 18-point, 11-rebound double-double, so good for him. I think that Mobley and Jarrett Allen did very well in the paint, doing good work there. Luka Doncic was himself, like I've been saying throughout this video. He put up 30 whole points. Not a whole lot of support for him, but I did think that Christian Wood and Reggie Bullock had some solid performances for the Mavericks off the bench. Garland, kind of a backseat player in this one. He was 4 for 11 shooting, but he did have 6 assists, which was tied for team high with Evan Mobley. So I'm not going to say that Garland was putrid or anything. It was just maybe you'd like to see some more scoring from him, maybe some better shooting numbers. But again, didn't really hurt them in this game. Just something to look at further along the line. Karis LeVert was all right off the bench, but Kevin Love, a non-factor scoring-wise, but he did contribute 9 rebounds to the team. So he was still putting in effort in different areas that maybe the score sheet doesn't make look as beautiful as it was. Cedi Osman not getting any minutes in this game. He was a coach's decision for not playing. He seems to be kind of in a really weird doghouse position at the moment. Obviously, again, in this game, it didn't detriment them at any point to a loss or anything. But I do think it might be a little weird that out of all the players to not get any minutes, it's Cedi Osman. When obviously, yes, I know that he might have some defensive deficiencies to his game, but if Cedi Osman is coming off the bench and playing well, then I do think that kind of makes this Cavs team a little bit more dangerous in general. And down the stretch, hopefully he earns minutes back, and I honestly do hope that Bickerstaff might put a little more trust in him than he's giving right now, because at some point I do think they're going to need to bolster that bench scoring. I do think Cedi Osman is going to be a real key to that idea that I'm throwing out there. So thank you all for watching. If you made it this far into the video, feel free to leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more like it. Let me know if you have something to say about this game down in the comments below. I will see you at the next one.